It's like a family tree. Part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Bring the funk back. Bring the funk back.
Oh, there we go. It must be another week done, and we're back on board for another episode. Obviously, we're chewing the fat. Tonight we have Bill Latimer on. We're going to be talking to Bill. We've got heaps of people on already and logged in. Obviously, the intro hasn't worn too thin yet. We've got Scotty, Ali on, Danny, Barry, Nicholas. We've got Luke. We've got Joel, Trent, Christy. We've got Daniel, Bo, Mark. Lots of people on tonight, so that's really cool. Just go through the normal, I suppose, housekeeping stuff. Obviously, you got to ask a question to go in the draw to win something out of the prize box. We do have, for Harry's picker box, we do have prizes up to the value of over $300. So just be aware of that. You do have to ask questions to go into the draw, and we pick them out at random. We also have the postcode prize. To win that, all you have to do is put your postcode in the comments. So we have, what have we got? We've got Siebel Deep Diver. We've got But I can't even read that. I haven't got my glasses on. So it's a lure pack, a Halcos, some Kato line, and some Bozos. So a bit of a barra pack tonight. So that'll be interesting to see who wins that one. And I will post that out this week to the lucky postcode winner, which Harry draws out at random. We've got a fair bit going on behind the scenes. So we'll just continue on with what we can in the time frames we have. We'll talk about that more tonight. Do have a bit of a shout out to go out, and I think Kevin's already put it in the post. One of the biggest supporters of shows, Bo Everly. It's his birthday today, so big shout out to you. Happy birthday, mutual friend of Bill's and mine. So happy birthday, Bo. And I'd also like to give a bit of a shout out to Steve Galvin from Teams Fishing Australia, who has donated a heap of prizes to the show, helped out since day dot, and he turned up at randomly. I wasn't home. Nikki took the prizes, but some more brag mats and shirts and stuff to give away as well. So that's really cool. Not only that, I was very surprised, but I opened the bag up and there was half a dozen post packs in there as well, which my biggest cost for this show is posting all your prizes out. All my prizes have been donated by some great guys and girls out on the fishing circuit. But, it does cost me around $2,500 a year to post it out. So I do appreciate that, Galvo, for those post packs. That was really cool. I better get the guy on and we'll have a chat. Don't forget to get your questions in. They can be questions for me. They can be questions for Bill. They can be questions in general. They can be those silly questions that you're frightened to ask anyone else. You can ask us and we will either tell you a lie or at least tell you what we know. So it's your choice. Put them in. There's no silly questions. Get them in there. All right, better get him on. And I'll remember, I'm getting better at this unmuting the microphone stuff. So working on that. G'day, Bill. How you going?
Yeah, good, Cap. Self?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. It's been a while since I've had you on, but big season this year, and unfortunately, due to the start of the year and some events your way, you haven't been able to attend many events this year. So you missed the Victorian rounds, of course. Got to Sinclair, Glenbourne, and Clarence.
Yep.
So you've got your fourth round still to go, which will be Kenya next fortnight.
Yeah. So Saturday, Sunday week.
Yep. So ultimately, we were, being the Allycraft brand ambassador and winning the program, winning through to the program, and in your first year finishing up in the top 10. I've been crunching the numbers all week, and it looks like with a decent result on the weekend, you should finish top 10 again. So that'll be top 10s 2 years in a row. You must be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to Kenya at the end of the day. I've still got to do the job up there. So had a tough round at Sinclair, but the other two went pretty well. But yeah, I mean, it's all in front of me to do, but it's not like it's impossible either. So yeah, that's really what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, it's hard to go in with, when it's a best of 4 series and there's, 6 or 7 comps in the year, and you miss some of the, it's always the ones that you miss that are the ones that are the easy bite or something else has gone wrong. So, it comes down to you've put the pressure on yourself. You've got 4 comps to do what you got to do. And, Kenya's going to be, I don't know, 23, 24 boats. It was the last time I seen. Have you seen any updates in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think it might be up to 25 or 26 now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of water in it, so that's going to be pretty tight on the water.
Yeah, for sure. And the fish are going to be light and everything else, but the same conditions for everyone, I suppose. We've been banging on the show for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks now about the Langers and Coney Jewel and who's going to finish AOY. I mean, put you on the spot. Prediction, which one's going to win the AOY this year?
Well, I mean, there's 2 trains of thought. Sometimes you see guys go out on their local and everyone's got the tickets on the local guy because it is their local, but they go out with a plan and it can sometimes be hard to deviate from that plan. So with Coney not being from up there, I think he's just going to throw everything at it he can. So, I mean, it's going to be really tight. And I know Langers has won 3 events, but I think Coney might have him just on that, a little bit different sort of space that they're both in. I reckon Coney might have it just because he wants to piss him off at the end of the day.
And they are good mates, and we will get them on the show to hang a little bit of shit. We did have the challenge set out last week, and I have sent it through, but they haven't agreed to it yet. But we believe that it should be a tattoo. I think it was sent in by Kev, so the tattoo has to be their initials, the letters AOY and 2020 or just 22 on it. They can have it tattooed anywhere on the body, but we reckon the loser should have to tattoo the other person's initials on their body somewhere. So I'll be putting that to them until we go home. Nick Bruni said there's 27 boats in for Kenya. He must have just checked. Right. So that's really cool. So unfortunately, as I said, we sort of alluded to you've had a big hole in the middle of the year where you've been tied up with the floods through Lismore. You're obviously a Lismore native, and I have to commend you, first of all, on your work behind the scenes for everyone else, because you pretty much rang me on the first night, I think it was, of the floods when there was people stranded and everything else. And your first question was, can I use the prize boat to go and rescue people? You're straight on to helping everyone else out, although your property didn't go under. Your mates and friends and whatnot did, and you're out there for hours on end helping everyone else out. Then, within the next week, you've raised or for the show here, you've got guys like Langers to donate. You've got all these prizes donated to the show, and we were able to raise some money, which went out, and you had the privilege of delivering that money. We don't have to mention names because some of the guys said that they wanted to stay quiet, but what was that like, being able to hand that money over to people?
It was bittersweet amongst everything that's been happening. I know when I handed it over to all the guys that we gave it to, they weren't expecting anything from anybody, and I think that's one of the best type of people to give it to, because not only were they going through stuff, they were also helping other people out as well, and it was really nice to be able to do something and actually help them move forward a little bit with what's going on, because it sucks. It's still like, you look downtown here now and you look at all the places around, and it's like some people have just gone nuts too hard and they've just left. So to be able to have guys like Langers and Brad and the other blokes that ended up donating prizes to that come forward and be happy to do so. It was just such an amazing thing to be able to go and pass this on to the guys who really needed it, and it really buoyed their spirits, and it was just a really great experience to be a part of. It was something that I know is hard to accept from the people we gave it to, because they are very humble people, but they were also so happy, and they were just really taken back by the fact people have thought that much about them and went out and did what we did.
Yeah, for sure. And I received the phone calls straight off the bat after you did it, saying, they were very humbled by the situation. So it was awesome. As I said, they wanted to keep their names out of the thing, so that's why I haven't announced anything or put anything up. But the money did go to local guys, and it was brilliant for everyone that donated, and it was brilliant for you to go and do that sort of thing. So I thank you very much for that. Since the last time we talked, we've got a few announcements going forward for you. You've got a jumper on there. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've got an atomic jumper on.
You got an atomic jumper on?
I've spoken with some guys, and I had a chat with one of the guys from Frogley's, Joey Allen, about 2-3 years ago before I started in the tournament scene. And Joey's one of these guys that he's been around for so long in the tournament scene and in the fishing industry. I tend to ask him a lot of questions, just trying to find out, what's needed in the industry, like where we can go. He's also an absolute magician with rods and knowing what rods for what purposes. I've never met anybody who can talk about rods so specifically and guides you in the way that he goes, okay, if that's how you're going to use it, then this is what you need and this is why you need it, which is always great information.
Yeah, the why is always good.
Exactly, because then you sit back and go, okay, now I can take that and implement that myself. But anyway, I went back after that time and spoke to them, and they were happy to come on board to have me on as a team member for Froglies. So with the Atomic, Major Craft, Samurai, and they've got a heap of other stuff there with knives and different bits and pieces as well with the Gemakatsu hooks. It's a really, really good company. It's a local company to where I am as well, which is also amazing to have something on our doorstep. Yep. And I'm just really humbled by the guys accepting me on board, which is great.
Which is awesome, which is great to see as basically your mentor over the last sort of 12 to 18 months that you've been able to go out and do this stuff by yourself. We're talking the program itself, the Allycraft Brand Ambassadors program, had nothing to do with that sponsorship. You actually went out and did that all yourself. But what I wanted to ask you, because we do have another program coming up, which I'm going to announce a little bit later on, but do you think that the program helped you get your information right when you went to them, or it was just something that just happened?
I feel like over the time that we've spent together with the program, with you mentoring, with Brad being involved, there's been a lot of not only fishing side of stuff that we've had discussions about, but also business side of stuff and our own personal brands of who we are in this fishing industry, whether it be social fishing, whether it be tournament fishing, just the whole who you are as a person in this sort of area. I like to be able to put two and two together. So who I am in my normal everyday life is a big part of who I am when I'm fishing. And I'd like to think that comes across, especially when I got blokes and people on my boat when we're in comps as well, because I want it to feel like it's just a day out fishing with a mate. That's how I want it to be. And the business side of things is how to approach these situations in regards to whether it's sponsorships or ambassadorships, that it's always a two-way street. You don't just go straight out asking, saying, give me free stuff and expect to give nothing in return. I always believe the best way to converse with people is face-to-face as well, rather than on the phone or just a text message or an email, and really put down what you're offering them. So then you can say, would you like to be a part of what I'm doing?
Yep, for sure. 100%. No, to see the growth, talking behind the scenes, I only met you through the ABTs and the program itself, and you were very mild and mannered going through the start, and to see your growth right now and to be able to sit here and talk as confidently of what you've done or doing right now is just, I think, a testament to the program itself. But there's more. It's like the old steak knives. There's always more. You've just recently put in an order for a new boat.
I have. I'm going to have your boat sibling, essentially. Yeah, so the 498 has been ordered. September-ish, that should be here.
COVID pending.
COVID pending, yes. Ordered, put the order in for all the electronics as well. And the motor is the biggest unknown at this current stage. The order's in on it. It was ordered in January, but still no ETA on that. But hopefully everything going to plan. 2023 ABT season will be me in my almost completely blacked out 498 Bass Pro.
Excellent. And that's really good that the program has been able to give you an avenue to get into that, that next stage. And we've been able to, as we announced a couple of weeks ago on the show, transfer your boat into Kev's hands, and Kev will be taking over the J455. So that's really cool going forward. So that's just a little bit of a background of what's been going on behind the scenes. The reason I sort of wanted to allude and talk to you about some of that stuff tonight is that we are definitely going ahead with the Ladies Ambassadors program. So this year there will be a ladies only Allycraft Brand Ambassadors Program run and won. The information will come out. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. Hopefully, I can get some snippets from the ABT cane around, talk to a few people, and then have about a month off to get that all up and running and organised, and we'll get that out there. But for all you ladies out there, the Allycraft Brand Ambassadors Program that we've run twice now for the juniors and for the Opens, we are going to run a females-only division this year, which will include a boat trailer and electric motor package. So it's a really, really cool setup, and I will give you more details on that in about a month's time. But to lead in to see what the program's about, Bill's a testament to that something so new is actually working. So really looking forward to doing some of that. But we've got some questions coming in, mate. So we better get to them because we said that we're going to answer anyone's questions, and we'll start with Allion to ask, which Allion loves to ask a lot of questions, but we'll get to this one. What's going to be the winning lure at Kenya?
The one I got tied on the end of my rod.
The one you've got tied. I like the confidence. I do like the confidence. Look, because you're fishing it, and we don't want you to give away secrets before the last round of the year. I'm actually going to say that there's going to be a lot of guys up there doing what has been done in the past. There's going to be something a little bit different out there, and I'm predicting the good old spinnerbait bite will be the winning scenario for Kenya. So I'll give you spinnerbait for me, Allion. Bridget wants to know, hey, Bill, are you ready for Kenya?
Yep, I've just got 2 more little trips for tackle, and besides that, yes, the boat's literally on charge right now, actually, and just did a little repair on the aerator, so that's all ready to roll. But yep, all ready to go.
All ready to go. Excellent. All right, Daniel's got a long one here. I think this is more directed to me because it's a Moala question. So let me bring it up. Are you expecting Moala to fish the same or similar once it is filled back up? And how long do you think it will take for the fish to move back out and spread out? Well, Daniel, straight away, in my thoughts, obviously it's fishing really well at the moment because it's like shelling peas. There is that many fish that have pushed out on the flats into the channels. It's a bit unfair on the fish for everyone that's fishing out there at the moment. I'd love to be there, don't get me wrong. That once the water level goes up, those fish will go back up and try and find places to roost and have a home and all that sort of thing. So they will spread out. I don't say fishing will get harder. I think it will actually be easier to locate them because you'll be able to get to them. The weed, obviously, they drop it so the weed comes down, so you'll be able to get up onto those flats and fish that shallow water. So I don't think it'll take very long for those fish once it's filled back up to be caught again. So I don't think there's going to be a lull at all. There's just so many of those 45 to 55 centimetre fish in the dam at the moment that obviously a few years ago we had a really good breeding cycle. So Daniel, I think there's going to be no problem once it starts filling up. That's my answer to your question. Let's keep going. Bo's got one here.
You can see Bo and Kev having a go on the side.
This being your best year in ABT, what has changed from the past to now and being able to produce at each comp?
Time on the water is definitely a big one. I had a vendetta against Glenbourne after last year's disappointment down there. So I really focused on Glenbourne and nutting out a plan that I knew would work for 2 days. So that was something that I really focused on and worked with what I knew from last year. Even though the dam was so much fuller, I was able to put in the plan on Friday with yourself, Bo, obviously, because you were pre-fishing with me. And we worked out a pattern that was just spot on. And we knew because we had several spots that we could run through them and not overfish them on one day and they would still be replenished on the next day. So we spent a lot of time making sure that there was plentiful spots on that dam. But it was preparation was one of the biggest things, making sure everything was exactly where it needed to be. Leaders were retied if they needed to be. They were the right length. All those little bits and pieces, even at the start of the season, all new line on every single reel, which takes a year when you're doing it by yourself. But just little things like that, and really focusing in on my strengths and not paying attention to what somebody said is working. Because at the end of the day, everybody can go, oh, this is what's working on that dam. This is what's working. But if you are not confident in fishing that, and I believe 100% confidence helps you catch fish, even if it's not what people say is working, confidence is a massive, massive thing to help out the whole way through. So, it's been working this year. And the other part is I've had blokes on my boat this year, and we've just fished like a couple of mates, and it's been really, really fun and really, really lighthearted and chilled out on the water. And we haven't been stressing out if we haven't got fish. We've just been plugging away, knowing we can get them. But the vibe on the boat's been awesome, which has really helped the fishing too.
It is. It really, really enjoy co-boaters. For me, one that like my music, which is not not many, but having a bit of a fat time on the boat and enjoying yourselves, because when you're out there for 7 hours and maybe sometimes your cowie gets a bit nervous and they don't want to interact or try and crack a few jokes or whatnot to make it work. But when you get those good ones, it just makes a really good day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely makes a huge difference on the water. And it's not even hard. It's just getting along and just having a good time. Like, you're both obviously out on the boat right now because you love fishing. That should be enough to get along for the day easy.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll keep going through the questions because they keep coming in, and we'll get one more question, then I'll do the postcode winner, and then we'll keep going into the questions.
Cool.
Trent wants to know, what's your favourite dam to fish and why?
Honestly, I don't think I've fished them enough to be able to work out exactly what's my favourite. I like Glenbourne because I had to work it out so much. It was one of the ones that a lot of people said would be fishing tough and all these other sorts of things. And it was almost like a victory to go out there and work the pattern out and know you could fish it. So right now I'm going to say Glenbourne, but I guarantee by the end of next year that'll probably change again and again. That'd be it at the moment. But if I'm fishing around locally at home, it'd be Clary Hall.
Clary Hall, yep.
Yeah, a little electric only dam or paddle power. It just, until the flood took all the fish over the dam wall, you wouldn't get big numbers there, but you would always get huge chunky fish. And I've had some of the best days on my water out there with my sons. So that's something that you just can't ever get when they're this age. So that would be my favorite local.
Yeah. And officially, are you still a river rat, or are you just a freshwater junkie?
Pretty much a freshwater junkie. I can't fish our local river here because they're still letting sewage out into it. So it's literally shit.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, don't go swimming or fishing in it for the next 2 or 3 months at least, because they've got the sewage systems completely rooted from the floods, and they have to let it out some way. And so the local river now is the Clarence, which, you got to drive an hour and a half each way to get to, which isn't too bad, but you can't just drive 5 minutes down the road, chuck in and not get a 15-eyed fish like there are on The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would probably lead into the next question there from Mark, who said, are you looking forward to the grand final at the Clarence?
Yeah, I am. It's going to be really different to what it was when we fished it coming into that sort of start of cooling down period, because it's going to be warmed up, fish are going to be moving, and all the snags have pretty much been ripped out of there. So that'll take a little bit of preparation work to work out where they're going to be and what's going to be going on. I definitely know what I want to do for it, but first things first, just do the right thing at Cania so I can be there.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, as I said, I've crunched all the numbers. I've looked at it now, and realistically, all you got to do to qualify for the grand final is catch fish. Now, in saying that, it is Cania on a drought level when everywhere else in the friggin' Queensland is flooding. So I wouldn't say that it's not impossible that could happen to the entire field if shit goes wrong. But in the sense of qualifying for the grand final, yes, I think it's one fish is all you need to get your point. So that'll push you up there. Kevin wants to know, do you use atomic gear?
Yeah, definitely. I've been working on just like tweaking the lures a little bit. So when I run the lipless crankbaits, the vibes, I run a single rear-facing hook in the middle only. Been running their crank 38s, but one that's really stood out for me lately because I love surface fishing has been the soft pop. So it's a soft lure. It's a little surface lure, but it's not just a popper. If you pop it slowly, it'll just plop along like a normal plopper. But if you really get that tip working, you can get it to walk the dog, and it has just been smashing them. It's been one of these ones that a lot of people don't really use. They just look at it and go, oh, no, that's probably not what I want to throw. But it is really good at imitating not just like a fleeing fish. It looks like a little bit of an insect or a little bit of a lizard when you've got it working across the top. And that's by far right now my favorite, and it's been on fire. It's such a good lure.
Yeah, I know the soft vibes worked really well for Borno at the Central Victorian Lure Comp at the start of the year at Blue Rock. He won on the soft vibes for that comp down there at Blue Rock.
Yeah, those semi-hards are good. They're real good.
All right. Keep going through. What was the next one? Oh, Cameron wants to know, obviously a few of your mates are on. Cameron wants to know, are you more keen for Kenya or the road trip up with himself and Bo in the same car for 10 hours? I don't know how you do it.
There's always music involved. You can't always just listen. But yeah, the road trip's always good fun because we did the double header together down to St Clair and Glenmore, and we had a ball. It's funny how quickly you get to know people when you're trapped in a car for that long together. And I'm really looking forward to that part of it too. The road trip will be heaps of fun, and then we'll go out and catch some fish and make it even better.
Yeah, I think the only way better than a road trip to work out if you actually like somebody is get on a houseboat with them.
Yeah, and get rid of it.
Because there's no escaping. All right, I've got to do the postcode prize. So Harry, my son, picks it out for new people to the show. Harry picks it out inside as a random, just picks a random name throughout the night, and we draw it about halfway through the night. So for that little barra pack this week, it goes to Michael Kincaid, postcode 3139. So Michael Kincaid, you need to send me a message to my Facebook page, Corey's Damn Fishing, with your address details so I can post that postcode prize out to you. So well done to Michael. All right, so we'll keep going through here. Jeff, yes, I will be at the Central Vic Lure Casters at Turrumbry at this stage unless something happens at work. I'm planning to get there. I'm actually looking forward to this one. I've been to Turrumbry since I was about probably 10 years old, so looking to go over there and have a bit of a crack at some of those river fish. I'm not an expert on it, so I'm going to have to suss that out for sure. Keep going through. Get the questions in. Look in front. There's Borno. Borno's on now. We're going to. We're just waiting on some more questions. We're going back to see if we've got any questions that I missed earlier on in the night. Just waiting for those questions to come through. I've still got a few on my list that I want to talk to Bill about. Kevin wants to know if you use mustache wax.
All natural, Kev. I'll teach you one day.
Okay. The boys
I'll shave it off and leave it in the boat when I pass it on.
Yeah, for sure. As I said, still waiting for... there you go. Barry Kelly asked on there that I skipped over straight away. What's your main combo, favourite setup, rod, reel, or line lure?
I'll probably do two. At the moment, it sort of depends on destination and lure choice, really, I guess. So Let's say what we used. I'll pick my two favorites that helped me for Glenbourne and one for the Clarence. So on Glenbourne, it was the Samurai 302, which is a 6 to 12 pound, 7-foot one piece. It's heavy enough in the butt that it's got plenty of power to get them out of the sticks because that's where they were sitting hard up in. But it's also got a really nice light tip so you can really play with them and really feel everything that's going on. With my spin gear, I'm running 2500 Stratix or Venfords at the moment with the new Magicraft Dengen X braid, which is an 8-carrier braid, but it's super thin. So I'm running 16 pound on my spin gear, but it's only 0.8 PE. So it's real thin. It's on average probably what other brands are around that 8 to 10 pound mark.
Yep.
And I've been able to, I haven't snapped it yet. It's just been absolute boss. Then I run the Dengen braid leader, which is the Magicraft leader in 12 pound on that runner. And I usually run a really long leader. I like to have a bit of shock absorber on that. Always attach it with an FG, not 2. And then for that comp, it was a dress jackal bite. So in that one, we're running the jackals with a clear belly on that with the single hook in the middle on the Beetle Spin in silver though, because they were just paying more attention to the silver when we mixed it up with silver and gold. So that's my favorite spin setup for that. But on the Clarence, was running a Corrado DC with same braid, but in a different poundage, just 25 pound braid, and then running either a 12 or a 16 pound leader, depending on where we were throwing it, because we were throwing it into some pretty scary country. And those river fish, they're used to seeing things, everything's moving a bit more. They're not as leader shy as those damn fish either. So you can run a bit heavier and you can hit them a bit harder that way with no problem. So the Corrado DC was a 150 high ratio, so it's a 7.3, and that was run on the 7-foot Samurai B302, I think it is. It's a 10 to 16 pound stick. It's really good for spinnerbaits, and the spinnerbait bite was what was on fire down there. So with that one, it's color 26 from Glenn at Bassman Spinnerbaits. This one's pretty munted now. It's missing eyes and half of its skirt and everything, but that caught all the big fish over the days. So especially I always throw TWs as well because they fall directly down rather than face down. I like that straight fall. And I always run them in a slightly heavier. So I'll run usually half-ounce spinnerbaits in the rivers as well. I rarely throw 3/8 now. I just throw the heavy guys. Just tear them back out. Everyone says slow and steady, but I think the faster the better, so you get that reaction. They come out and they rarely miss it when you're ripping it past their face. They don't want to miss out. So, yeah, they're my two standout combos at the moment with all the fishing that we've been doing.
I think out of that Bassman stable, that colour, I let the cat out of the bag. I did a bit of a video last year. The through weight in that colour that you just showed up there is dynamite on nearly every species of freshwater fish to start with. But cod in my whaler, love that colour. Love those smaller profile. I've been using those bass style spinnerbaits for a long time now in that shallow water, and the cod really love that colour for sure. So obviously it works for bass. Works for yellow belly. I used to use it at Boone Doomer and BP a lot. It was one of my favourite colours up there as well. So, and they do get pretty mangled up in the end.
Yeah, this one hangs on the wall now. It doesn't get used.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Trent's got a question here, which is a good one, actually. What's your advice to give someone looking to catch their first bass? Now, I know this is hard because Trent hasn't given you an area that he wants the fish in. So, in general, let's see if we can answer this for him.
My first point of call would be talk to the local tackle shops. Nothing against your Anacondas, BCFs, big stores like that, but usually I find if you talk to the little tackle shop owners in the local area, they've always got their ear to the ground and know what's going on, because I reckon 100% of the time they all fish the local places as well. They won't go and give you their best, secret spots and everything like that, but they'll usually go, you can usually go here, throw something like a spinnerbait, or you can throw a surface lure, or they'll give you a bit of a general idea of what you can do. Google Maps as well is a huge thing you can use. You'll find little water crossings and bits and pieces, because bass love structure. If you can find somewhere with laydowns and structure and bits and pieces like that, then usually you'll be able to find some fish as well. It'll take a bit of time to get there, but the other thing would be, if you've got a mate who does it, just say, hey, can I just tag along with you for the day and see what you do and how you do it? I mean, I don't know too many guys that fish that if someone says, oh, I'd love to go fishing with you, go, piss off. No, you're not coming with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, it never hurts to ask as well. But having a little setup, you don't have to spend $700 on a rod and $500 on a reel. You can pick up combos for about $100 to $150, and they'll 100% do the job.
Yeah.
If you're just, so the tools of the trade don't have to be the highest, most expensive things. It's just something simple, 10-pound braids and 12-pound leader. And one of the best spots to start, because it's pretty hard to fish them wrong, is something like a spinnerbait.
Yes, and look, I've said it a million times. The motto of my show is just buy the best you can afford. That's for sure. But bass, especially pond bass or dam bass, the same. Here you go, mate. The same as any other species of perch, in the sense of, if you can catch yellow belly, use those same techniques to try and catch your bass. Because, if you're a barra fisherman, or if you're a cod fisherman, use those similar techniques to try and chase the bass until you've worked something else out. So that's probably my hint there. Now, there was a bit of somebody wanted to see that contraption again. Was the statement. So I think that might be your Beetle Spin on your TN.
The dress jackal.
So dress jackal, as we call it a horse shit locally. So that's what it's called. So it's just basically a Beetle Spin blade on your TN60 or TN50, or for the cod guys, you can make them bigger on the TN80s and the doozers.
Yeah.
They do work. So, yeah, obviously it was the right one, because he said thank you. All right.
Bo, it doesn't work.
All right. Andrew says, would spinnerbaits be a good go-to lure for chasing your bass, mate? So,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Always, even if I'm going to places where they don't usually have a spinnerbait bite, there's a ton of them in the box, if not one tied on, just in case. Because other people say they don't work there, doesn't mean that they won't eat it. So there's no harm in throwing it for a little while and see what happens.
Yeah, look, and to be 100% honest, if you're getting bites with a Beetle Spin and anything else, why wouldn't they hit a friggin' spinnerbait? So,
yeah.
Hey, we've got him in, so we better chat to him. So, g'day, Harry. How you going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Welcome back to another week. Granny Brown's on there. She said g'day. Everyone else was saying g'day earlier on in the night.
I don't have much in my wardrobe, so I put on
you got a Santa shirt. Bill, I'm going to chuck you in the green room. We'll get a few questions to finish the night off in, but we do have to do Harry's picker box. So go and get yourself a drink, or go and have a wee, or whatever you got to do, and we'll bring you back in a minute.
No worries.
All right, Bombers supporter. Actually, I'm the Bombers supporter, and Harry supports whoever I support. So we'll call it a Bombers supporter. Hey, we gotta do your pick a box, and for people that don't know, all the names in here have prizes already. So Harry will draw one of those out, and the winner has a couple of minutes to respond. When they respond, they need to tell us if they want Harry's prize or the mystery box. So you can have what's in the mystery box, or you can have Harry's prize. That should all make sense as we go forward. But we're going to go with there was a great question earlier on, and I'm going to go with Trent Tulloch. What advice would you give anyone that catch their first bass? So, Trent, you've got a couple of minutes to put in the comments here that you're still on for one, because if you're not on, you can't win it. And second of all, which one you want? You want what Harry draws out of this box, or you want the picker box? So, Trent, you've got to respond as quickly as what you can. There's a few comments going through there saying, "G'day, Harry."
Yes, hello, everyone.
So everyone's out there just waiting on Trent's here. G'day, Trent. All right, Harry, pick one out of there. Now, what you need to do, Trent, is write in the comments, mate, whether you want what Harry's pulled out of here. We're not going to tell you either until after he's drawn it out. So he's got to draw one out. Your arm's too fat for the hole.
What? I don't know what you're on about.
All right, they're going with the what are they going with? You sit in the driver's chair.
Oh,
All right, and you talk to everyone.
hello. I am a loss for words. I see a bunch of people saying hello. And you are going for my prize. So I do not know what's in the mystery box. Oh God, I don't know how to start a conversation.
That's all right. All you got to do is keep talking.
Yes.
I had to get the prize out of the box.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
So Trent actually said that he wants to go with Harry's. So it was actually Goldie's Adventures, which is my son's Instagram channel. That's Connor's Instagram channel. So it's Goldie's Adventures 98 on Instagram. Give him the plug for his sponsorship. And he goes out of the wheel. So it is actually you can model that, a Corey's Dam fishing hat and a Venom shirt. Now, I don't even know what size that is. I think it's a 2XL there. Or it might be a 3XL. I haven't got the glasses on. So, Trent, you've won the Venom shirt and the Corey's Dam fishing hat. What you need to do is send us your details into my Facebook page so I can post them out to you this week as well. So well done, Trent. Well done, Harry. Say goodnight to everyone because you got to go to school tomorrow.
Well, I love you on a romantic way. I'll see you all later.
All right, give us a thumb on the way past.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's like Dickie Knee. There we go. All right, mate. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right, there we go. So I'm watching the play. I'm going to get Bill back on. We're going to just do a last couple of questions and then we'll call it quits for the night. So just writing that in there, Trent. Rightio, let's get Bill back. Welcome back.
Hello.
Sorry, it's always chaotic with Harry. The people don't actually get to see the real Harry. He gets all nervous in front of the camera. We practice off camera, and he's a bit of a laugh around the house, and he's got a really good sense of humour. But stick him in front of this camera every week, and he just freezes. So we'll work on it and get him to. I might even just leave him in here one night and just let him do the whole show. And he can, I'll go out the back or something and give him a bit of a go at it that way, I reckon.
Oh yeah, just throw him in the deep end. That'll work. That's fine.
Yeah, for sure. Kev reckons he's got a sensible question, so we'll bring this one up. What's the biggest thing you've learned during your time as in the apprenticeship program?
Probably just more about the communication with what we do. It's a huge thing. Like if you're not communicating with the people you're working with, and I know technically what we're doing isn't working because we enjoy what we do. So that's pretty hard to work and do the same thing like that. But just the communication that we have on this, whether it's with you and Brad as the team or with the other team members, even just on the boat with other people and just being in touch with people and always like, we didn't know each other before this, but I feel like regularly we're checking in with each other, making sure that everyone's okay, not on a like fishing or anything like that sort of basis, just on a day-to-day life thing. And I think just realizing that we can do this part of our life together as a team and as mates has been huge, and it's been so much better than going in and having people who are just at each other and not getting along. It's been a really positive program. I've really enjoyed it.
Excellent, because I would call it a family atmosphere. I've learnt more from you guys than you'll ever know, and going forward, I hope to learn more from the next generation when we all step up and we're all helping the next generation come through. And that's the plan for it all, is that, I train you, you train the next guy, and we all train everyone, and we get to build this big sort of family together. But I've been involved with situations where it can be really charismatic, and I've been involved in situations where it can be really, really negative. And the group is, quite often you'll just get a random message in the middle of a weekend, like, "How you going?" And you don't get that in society anymore. It's something that's really missing in society. We get, especially with COVID and everything else, you get cooped up, you get fully your own self-importance, and then you just get a nice message from one of the team members, and there's genuine care within the team. So you guys have taught me a lot about that side of things, which has been awesome. So thanks for that question, Kev. All right, we've got a few more. Obviously, as soon as we do the prizes, everyone drops off. Nobody wants to know what we're talking about. They just want to get on to win the prizes. So we'll just got a couple here. So Michael's got one here where he says, "What's your biggest bass?" Can you remember, or have you caught too many?
The day before I won the boat, I caught a 52 centimeter at Somerset. The day I won the boat, I caught a 52 centimeter at Somerset. And then river fish is 49. So just shy of the magic 50, which was so close. It still weighed over it was like nearly 2.5 kilo fish, but it just wasn't quite as long as it could have been.
Yeah, big fat porkers at friggin' Somerset. But
that was the river fish. It was 49 tip and weighed nearly 2.5 kilo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like that thing that Mick caught at the last Clarence round.
I'm pretty sure he weighed that and it came in at over 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they are fatties right now. Big fatties.
Have they got a good food source?
Oh, like rarely that you cast in and you don't see jelly prawns skipping around, and you're cruising along the banks and you see where they're all staging out before they move up to the banks to eat, that you don't see a huge school of bait sitting there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
All right, Nick, you mightn't have been on early when we were talking. Has asked any? Sorry, I got the wrong one there. Hang on, that one. Nick said any date on the motor, so the answer to that was
not yet. If he can tell me something about it, that'd be awesome. It's just, I don't know. Who knows? Hopefully by the end of the year.
It's a COVID nightmare, and I'll sort of try and explain it to anyone out there that really wants to listen. When you're sticking with a brand, most brands have the same size blocks throughout several different motors. And, of course, Mercury's, I think it's 75, 80, 90, 100, and 115 are all the same sort of block. They're like a detuned model as they go back. So if you were Mercury, would you sell as many 75s as you could get, or would you sell as many 115s as you could get? So I think there's lots of 115s out there that are promised to people that aren't, just waiting game, because we haven't got enough of them in the country. So containers are hard.
And it's hard because overall, when you look at the global side of things, we're such a small fish in that pond of their market. So that can hold it up too. But it'll get here. I've got my name on one. It'll be here at some stage. I've learnt to wait with things,
and you'll love it. They're a beast of a little rig. A couple of last questions I'll tick over. Where did we go? I seen one there, Andrew. I'm not sure if this question's for you or for me. I'm pretty sure if you viewed the show before, I fish for cod. Do you actually go chase cod around where you live?
I haven't, but I have organised with Bo to head up and do a little bit more of that. He's got a bit more of a cod background than what I do, and then there's also some plans with a couple of lads at some stage to try and head out to Copeton, and then later in the year, if I could do it, I'd like to hit the Severn up, take the kayaks, and go chase some cod on the river.
Yeah, no, friggin' yeah. They are destinations that you need to get to. That's for sure. All right, let's go through any questions I missed that I can think of. Gary said took Nick Brown to Somerset years ago for a 58. So that's a big fish.
That's a beast.
No, I think we've got them all. Any shout outs or anything you want to talk about tonight, Bill, where you've got the opportunity?
No, I'm looking forward to the next stage with with everything that's happening. So we've got the junior guys will have their stuff all sorted soon, and that'll be exciting because then they'll be out in the tournament scene themselves doing what they do, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what unfolds for them. I think the guys will find that they'll have to work their way into just trusting themselves on the water, and making the decisions and sort of dying by the sword, as you would know. Electric comps especially, you don't have the opportunity to drop the big motor and off you go, run to the next spot. So no, I think it'll be really good. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the ladies one that's coming up as well, because it'll just broaden what we're doing in the team, and I feel like that'll broaden who wants to come in and see what we're doing as a team as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just been a really good experience so far. This year's been great. I know COVID and floods and all that sort of stuff, but I feel like it's brought us all a bit closer together, and I just really appreciate the guys we've got around us and helping us through what we've been through. So, and for yourself for doing that stuff that's been going on with the floods as well, because you've got the platform to get it out there. And I mean, it was work for you to do it, and I really appreciate that you were happy to do it. And the guys that just started piling stuff on top, like within that 2 hours of your show going on, you were like, I've just had 3 or 4 more people come to me with stuff. And I just love seeing what the fishing community does in that sense, because it's it really uplifts you and just gives you a bit more vigor for what you're doing, and doing it with the people that are good people too.
Yep, I do love the fishing community. There's some really red hot, cracking people out there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do through the Allycraft Brand Ambassadors program as well. There's nothing else like it in Australia. I think it's working, and you know, I hope that other people within the industry take it on, or other companies in the industry take it on and do something of their own or something similar to it as well, because I think it's something that works really, really well. All right. Michael Kincaid 3139 was a postcode winner. You need to send me the message through Facebook. Trent Tullock, you were the winner of Harry's prize, which was the Corey's Dam fishing hat and the Venom shirts. So awesome. I'll send them out if you give me those details. Bill, big good luck for you coming up to Kenya. I really hope you do well and win it. As I said, I crunched every number I could to make sure that, you know, what you had to do, what you needed to get to finish top 10, what you needed to get. The best thing is that it doesn't matter what you do, you can't beat me. If you win it, you fall 1 point short of beat me. So the last year you kicked my ass. So this year I've come back and done it. So the internal challenge is always there between us, and we're going to get together at the end of the year. Hopefully, get up and fish for some barra and fish the barra comps together, which is going to be a fat time. I'm really looking forward to that. I know it's a long drive from down here, but I think I'll drive to you and you can drive the rest of the way. So, but we'll work.
Good. Yeah. It's over my wife's birthday, so I've been buttering her up the whole time about it. She knows I'm going, but
we'll work it out. All right. Thanks everyone for getting on and watching again. Great to see you all out there in the fishing land, following what we're doing, and thanks for being on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, Corey.